Hello, this is Ron with Rising Sun Properties. I'm here in Nagoya, downtown Nagoya in Sakai, where our office is, having an afternoon coffee. Got this mug from our customers Rob and Naomi, who we helped, and you can check out their video to the link above. Thank you, Rob and Naomi. I'm making these videos as I'm showing properties for our customers, and I think it's just a good opportunity for people to see really what the properties look like. Sometimes the photos obviously don't do it justice, and a lot of these kind of Akiya style properties, the local realtors just aren't putting in the time or effort to properly advertise them and market them. So it's really important for us to go to the properties, every single one of them, and view them in person. We do our background check as much as we can. We call the local realtor, find the information, but until we actually go to the property and see it in person, you just don't know what you're really getting. We do video viewings with customers and also in person. Both have been successful. I'm there checking it out, kind of getting the feel for the area and the home itself, and trying to uncover any problems that aren't being shown. Also, while you're there locally with the realtor, they'll give you more information in person than they will over the phone. So that's why it's important for us to go there to every single property and see it in person. At the end of this video is a true Akiya, what I would call an Akiya. I think it's like 2.9 million yen. The photos online that were advertising it didn't really show a lot. So when I got there, and I have enough experience now to know that, this is probably what we're going to see. At the end of the video, you'll see a true Akiya that's 2.9 million yen and why you probably don't want to buy it. Thank you very much and enjoy the video. Today we're heading down to Oita in Nakatsu, which is near Beppu. It's a famous area for onsens. Taking the local train. It was fun to come to this area. It kind of reminded me of the first time I came to Nagoya. They're not used to a lot of foreigners and people were pretty curious and saying hello, talking to me. So very friendly area. First house is near Nakatsu Station. It's an older style Japanese house, 9.9 million yen, 2-story, 6 LDK, 155 square meters. I think the land was like 300 square meters. This says built in 1990, but it feels older than that, so maybe it has to do with the renovations they had. And this is really a perfect example of homes that, do have a lot of attraction from people because it's 9.9 million yen. There's a lot there for that money. But as I said in the introduction, you really got to go to the home and see it in person to find some problems that might not be apparent from photos online or calling the realtor before you go and visit the home itself. Here's a sun patio, very common on houses that are this age. Overall, it was a pretty decent house, The wood's not bad. There are some things left in the house, but not a lot, so getting rid of the belongings, that's not going to be a big problem or issue. There is, however, as you'll see later, water damage that is going to be a problem. This, the guy was telling me, is for green tea. There's that faucet in the corner. You said you get water and make green tea in there. I'm not sure. I've seen them in older houses where it's actually an old fire pit where you would hang a tea kettle and warm it up. You can see the tatami where there was furniture there, and it's sun worn. So tatami would probably need to be replaced. This is in the kitchen. I guess this is the dining room. And very big kitchen. You can see the walls though. Wallpaper needs to be replaced. This whole kitchen is probably not ideal. Electricity was working. Most of these houses, I think this one was actually city gas. Most of them a little bit outside of town, especially in the countryside, are going to be propane and also septic, which isn't, it's not something that a lot of people want to deal with. understandably so, especially in older houses. You might need to replace a septic unit, which can be a pretty big overhead cost, probably $6,000 to $8,000, 700 to a million yen. Old bathroom, Japanese style, the baby blue, the baby pink. It just was that era, I guess, because you see it everywhere. Interesting urinal that you do see in some of the older houses. All of this would probably need to be upgraded, replaced. So again, overhead costs getting into a home like this. This as well, you can see everything looks pretty aged and dated. Bathtub's not too bad, and it's not, there are some that are a lot smaller, but again, you'd probably want to upgrade it. This house is not ready to live in. And here is the water damage. So I saw it here in another place. The realtor, super nice guy, open and honest. Rarely do people, try to pull the wool over your eyes. There's some more water damage there. Try to pull the wool over your eyes and hide things. If you ask about it, they will tell you. And he wasn't for sure about what was going on with the roof, but it looks like there is some problems. And you'll see above on the second floor where it's probably coming from. That last room was an addition to the house later on after it's been built, and maybe that's why it says 1990. Here's the second floor. It is right on the river, so decent view. Older homes just don't have a lot of insulation. It is a bit chilly. There's no double pane windows. So when you buy a house, everything that's in it is yours, including this old 70s probably turntable system. Looks kind of cool. And here's where the leak is probably coming from on the roof. So who knows what kind of damage is inside in the wood. Likely need an inspection. A full-on inspection is about 500,000, 300, 500,000, so not cheap. Older air cons definitely need to be replaced. Air cons, air conditioning. Does have a cool view of the castle, Nakatsu Castle, so that's kind of cool. It is definitely a fixer-upper. This was just a couple blocks down the street, so it is kind of in town. And there are shops and things around, so not completely desolate and away from amenities, things you need. Here's a bunch of cool old signs I saw on the side of a building. Here's the second home, 8.5 million, built in 1977, one story, 3 LDK, 90 square meters inside, but 330 square meters outside. As you can see, it's a pretty big yard. The owner was an older gentleman. He was here with the realtors. A lot of houses are very Japanese style in this area, like this one, and that's appealing to a lot of people. And I certainly understand why. I've been living in Japan for 12 years. I love the culture and the architecture here. But with these older houses, there will be problems, likely, not to say there aren't good buys. There's definitely good buys out there for houses like this. You just got to go look at them and find them. This home, as you'll see here, you can see on the ceiling, water damage. There it is, pretty apparent. They weren't really telling me any information, but as soon as I asked about it directly, the guy was like, yeah, you would probably need to replace the roof, which is a pretty big undertaking. He was reluctant to tell me because I could tell he really wants to sell this house and was excited I was there looking at it. But he did tell me, and that's obviously a pretty big issue. All this stuff in the house would probably stay there. That's some of the stuff could be negotiated. Some are like, no, as is, this is the way it is. Some of them they will help remove. By the way, the kitchen, the floor was really soft, so I don't know what was going on with the kitchen floor, but basically the entire floor was pretty soft and felt like it needed reinforced. Baby blue, old bathroom. All this would probably need to be upgraded. So I always recommend people to find something that has already been renovated. You can't find a good deal if there's just minor things that need to be upgraded and renovated. But overall, I would suggest finding something that's already been renovated. This is Moriyama. This area, I guess, is famous for karage. Again, people in the restaurant here were very nice, and it was excellent, I will say. This house, 11.9 million, built in 1996, 2-story, 3 LDK, 90 square meters, pretty close to the station, like 10-12 minute walk. Not your typical Japanese style home, but this house was ready to move into. You could move in today and everything would be good to go. There are a couple things you might want to upgrade, like the bathroom sink that you'll see here in a second. Storage under the stairs. However, it was weird. They have kerosene outside. There's a tank for kerosene that is used for hot water heating. They had city gas, city sewage, and electricity. So 4 things you would need to, 4 separate utilities you would need to pay, or you'd have to fill up the kerosene every month or whatever. Baby blue. He said for about 700,000 yen, and there's the pink, for about 700,000 yen, which I guess is maybe around $5,000, you could make everything electric, which would make the utilities cheaper and just easier to manage. So that's something to keep in mind. Bathroom, again, not bad. You might want to upgrade it, but as is perfectly fine. Here's the kitchen, dining / living room. There were 2 air cons in here, one on the first, one on the second. They both look fine, ready to use. Everything looked good in the kitchen. Clean, functional, big sink. There was a train track running by right outside. I think you'll see maybe in the video when I show outside. Right there you can see the structure up above. That's a train track, so the train's really close. However, it stops at around 10, I think he said. Starts at pretty early, 6 o'clock or so. Comes by twice an hour. Not that loud. So not a huge issue, but it is close to the train track. And then down to the left is the actual station. So you can walk to the train station from here in about 10 minutes, I believe. Going up to the second floor, the house felt really big and open because of this upstairs area right here. You can see it's just a super high ceiling, so it gave it a really open feel. Here's just a couple bedrooms separated with the shoji doors. You see where there's furniture there, so probably upgrade the wallpaper and the tatami if you wanted to. He said no structural damage, everything was sound with the wood, and should be, again, good to go. Some places we will recommend to get a inspection on it. Other places they'll say they might have it done already in the last year or something because some other customer did it. And then other places they'll tell you we haven't had an inspection, but there shouldn't be a problem and we don't think you need it. Outside, there to the left is a small balcony where you can hang clothes, but again, how are you getting up there? It's so common in these houses. I stayed the night because I was viewing for 2 days, got some yakiniku, local place, very good. It's the 4th house, 8.8 million yen, 1978, 2-story, 6 LDK. It's a 5-minute walk from the station, but it is out in the boonies a little bit, so not a lot around as you saw from that video. Small little neighborhood here. Things in this home have been upgraded within the last couple years, but it definitely had an older feel. A bit chilly inside, not a lot of good insulation. You can see those older windows there. Here's the Genkan. You can see the floors have been, it's just a cover, but it's been upgraded, so it doesn't look super old, but does have an older feel. Always lots of storage in these older homes. Tatami mats weren't bad, but any new place you're moving into, you'll probably want to get them replaced. I think tatami mats are like $7,000 per tatami, so not a huge overhead cost. Here's back in the corner where it would be kitchen, dining area. It used to be a room, but they tore down the wall and opened it up. Here's the kitchen, simple kitchen, propane gas. There's a little closet right there to the right, and then this goes all the way back around to the left here. They said they're fixing something that was leaking there. They had a refrigerator or something and water was leaking, so nothing crazy damage, but a little bit of damage to the wood they're fixing. Here's the bathroom where your washer would go. Your sink. Bath to the left. Yeah, that's pretty small, and you probably want to update that if you enjoy taking baths. Two rooms on the second floor, and you'll see from the views kind of how much in the countryside it is. So if you did live here or in a place like this, you definitely need a car. There is parking out in front, kind of in the yard really, but there is a place for a car to be parked. See, not much out there, but it is beautiful, fresh, clean air. Room number 1, and then over to the left is going to be the second room. No air conditionings in this house, so you would need to install air cons. See, a lot of these homes are very similar looking. Here is the last one, the true Akiya, I would say. A lot of places in this area were connected to farmland, and unless you're going to agree to continue farming it, you're not going to be able to purchase it. This was one such property. However, they said they would separate the land and the home, but the price would not change. So I think back behind the house, there's quite a bit of farmland. I think it's 600 square meters total. Yes, almost 700 square meters. However, this is just the home. That other land would not come with it. But as you can see for the price, what was it, 2.9 million, I think it was. Very cheap. As I said in the introduction, not a lot of photos on this, so you don't really know what it is, and no one's going to go out there for you. A local realtor is like, if you want to see it, go look at it yourself. On the floor here, there were a lot of scratches, so it looks like they had a lot of dogs. This was built in 1955, I believe, 54, 55, so quite old. And you could feel it inside. It's just an old home. It did have some character, and I'm in these places, and it's fun just to think about what happened, what kind of family life was going on. They're farmers, what kind of farming they're doing, daily life, dogs running in and out all over the place. And maybe even in this video, it doesn't look too bad, but it's not something that I would ever recommend purchasing, unless you live in Japan and know the area and know specifically what you're getting into and what you want to do. Old places like this, they might be structurally sound, but a lot of old homes in Japan were built to be torn down in 80 years or something. It's just the culture of the real estate here. So a lot of room, but it's kind of dusty and yeah, just old. It's the bath, baby blue. It's where your washing machine would go. You can see the hookup right there. There's no hot water hookups for washing machines in Japan. Just something I kind of forgot about and got used to. Yeah, you can see the tatami, these walls, everything's just super, super old. And I don't even know if it'd be worth trying to renovate, to be honest. I wouldn't do it. But that gives you an idea about some properties in Nakatsu. If you have any questions, interested in purchasing, or any questions about these properties, please do reach out. Thank you very much and have a great day.